What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our next episode, our first episode this week. And we are having everybody here today. We got myself, Chase, as well as Bryson, Marshall, and Caleb. So you got all of us today. Caleb's going to be leading us in the episode. So I'll pass it over to you, Caleb. Tell us what we're doing.
So today we'll be making a tier list on what we think each team will do in 2023. We'll be ranking every team. Teams will be split up into 5 tiers. We have World Series contenders, playoff lock, wild card teams, missed playoffs, and then trash. So we'll be going around the room starting with Bryson, and then we'll each do our initial ranking on each team, and then we'll kind of discuss, and then someone thinks a team should move up or down. We'll vote on it, and then we'll have our final product. So
Perfect.
we start with Bryson with the Yankees.
Alrighty, I got the Yanks as my first team, and I decided to put the Yankees as playoff locks. I think that the AL East is going to be tough, but I still think that the Yankees are just as good as last year. Obviously, bringing back Judge was huge for them, but they also, bringing in Carlos Rodon, I think is just even makes their rotation stronger than it was last year. And if Frankie Montas can kind of get healthy and get back to the way he was playing in the first half of last year, I think they've got an underrated rotation over there in New York, as well as they've got some good young guys coming up with Anthony Volpe. I'm probably feel like we're going to see him at some point this year, as well as I always get them mixed up. Is it Cabrera or Peraza who's up?
Both of them
are
came
best.
up, but
Okay.
Cabrera is probably the better one.
He's pretty much
He's
the
the
lock
first.
to make the team this year.
I would say so. I think,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
write that down. I think I had Cabrera as starting day left fielder for the Yankees.
right. So yeah, they got those guys coming up too. So I don't think they're quite World Series contenders because I think that there's other teams that are a little bit ahead of them, but they're
Astros
definitely
are
a
going to put
playoff
up a good
lock.
fight again.
Yeah, and I think I think they could definitely be a World Series contender, but I just feel like they belong more in the playoff lock category.
Yeah, if I looked at it from a strictly unbiased standpoint, I'd probably have to agree because they have to get past Astros like they did this past season. I think it's going to be the same struggle for them this season as it is going to be last season. As just beating the Astros basically. Beat the
Yeah.
Astros, you make it to the World Series. I think that's going to be the deciding thing. Same thing.
I
agree.
agree. I had the Yankees in a playoff lock. That's where I would rank them. I don't think they're a World Series contender. And I think they'll be up there in contention for the division, but I don't think they're a contender. I don't think they're up there with the better teams in the league.
They're fighting words.
Yeah, coming out.
Blue Jays are gonna have a better record this year.
That's a
Very
hot
possible.
take.
It's very possible.
Not with that bullpen.
So we good with leaving them in the playoff lock. Does anyone have anything else to say to move them up or down?
No,
No, I'm
happy
fine with
for
that.
personally.
So next up is me with the Mariners.
Yep.
And
All right.
I had I believe they squeaked in last year. So I'm
Yes.
stuck between
Yep.
playoff lock and wild card team.
Yep.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna put them in for now. I think I'm gonna have them in wild card team. Actually, no,
Okay.
I'll move them playoff lock. I think
Okay.
the addition of
Ooh.
Taylor is going to be huge for that team. That's a big bat in their lineup. That's their 4-hole right there. And I think with J-Rod, he's going to take another step. He'll probably be, I would say, an MVP candidate. And like players like George Kirby, starter, he gets a year older. And I still have question marks with Robbie Ray this year. I do think he probably falls out of the rotation. Hot take. And yeah,
Interesting.
I think they have a good young lineup. And yeah.
I had a very interesting. So when I was completely out to lunch apparently when we were playing this, and I thought we were all doing all 30 teams where we thought we were going to land. And so I made a full 30 team list. But I had a really hot take with this exact spot in wild card, playoff lock, and missing playoffs. And I had a hot take on the Mariners and the Orioles coming in right here. And this will go to the Orioles.
Save the Orioles for later.
This okay, I'll save that for later. But I had the Mariners missing the wild card.
You have them missed playoffs.
Yeah. Missing playoffs is where I had them. Hot take.
Yeah, that's a hot take. Personally, I think I'd stick in wild card. Personally, I think that's a safe place.
I was torn between them.
I wouldn't be upset moving them out. Like I wouldn't be upset with leaving them in wild card. I just had that hot take.
So, Marshall, you think we should move them down?
Yeah, I would vote for moving them down.
Bryson, even though you're outvoted already.
Yeah, I mean, I think wild card makes sense. I think the biggest question for them is just they had some good young players last year, like with Julio and Cal Raleigh stepped up.
I think
towards the end, but I think their pitching rotation is the biggest question mark. I think Robbie Ray's a question mark. Castillo's a question mark. I think he was great last year. Don't get me wrong, but like I said,
Robbie Ray sunk them in the playoffs.
Exactly. So I just think I think wild card's more realistic, but I think they have the potential to definitely be a playoff lock.
I think there's potential they could be in all three of those in missed playoffs, wild card or playoff lock. I think there's potential there. It's just very unknown, right?
So I think the middle's probably a good spot.
Right.
Card. Yeah, I like going the wild card. I was torn, but I actually thought you guys had been arguing to move them up to playoff lock if I put them in wild card.
No, I would have agreed with you there.
Yeah, I like wild card.
I guess
is Marshall with the Rays.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I had a hot take with the Rays as well.
Yeah. So I have them. They finished last in the wild card behind Toronto and Seattle last year, and I think they're still a wild card team this year, but I think they move up a couple spots. I think they're middle of the pack in the wild card, move ahead of Seattle. I think with Glasnow being back and hopefully Franco playing a full year, I think they can get it done, maybe win 90 games out there.
Exactly where I have them, honestly.
Yeah.
I made my list. Middle of the pack wild card spot is exactly where I put them.
Yeah, that's where I see them.
So
I'm just waiting for that year where they fall off, but it just never seems to happen.
Right. Well, with McClanahan coming out of nowhere last year, I mean.
Well, that's the thing with McClanahan being as good as he was last year, Glasnow being back, and then Franco hopefully having a full healthy season. I just don't see them being out of playoff contention.
Yeah,
but another thing I'm thinking is with the A's, like improving.
I know. I also wondered about that.
The Orioles.
I was gonna say the A's or the O's.
Yeah, that's where I want to get talking about the Orioles.
Right.
Like I forget when it was. It was like I think it was 2 years ago. Tampa was undefeated against Baltimore throughout the whole year.
Tampa was a powerhouse like 2 years ago.
And
Tampa
Baltimore
was taking
3 games behind them last year.
Orioles were very close to a wild card spot. They're above 500. They're like 530, so maybe not 530, but I can't. Yeah, there's something around there. Between 510 and 530.
They won 83 games last year.
Tampa won 86, so they were 3 behind Tampa.
Yeah, Orioles were actually so close to making that spot.
They were.
I think the Rays are a classic example of when a team knows how to develop prospects, they're just always good.
True.
Yep.
Like they just always have guys, even when they don't work out, like someone like Vidal Brujan, like didn't really work out, and even then now it's like, well, we're still going to be good. Like
yeah, they locked up Wander long term.
Yeah, they got their man.
Yep.
So we agree, leaving them in wild card.
Yeah.
I think everyone agrees.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Perfect.
Chase up with the Blue Jays and
all right.
Let's see what direction he goes with this one.
I had them the top spot in the wild card for the AL is where I placed them. They finished that same position last year. I think they finished the same position this year. I think the Rays, like we said, I think they move up one slot and they fall in right behind the Blue Jays. And I think just they have no other option because the Yankees are winning the division.
I don't know about that.
So Blue
The
Jays
old,
top
the
wild
old
card spot in the AL.
Yankees. The old Yankees. I want Blue Jays up to playoff lock.
That's
I
fair.
think this team,
I
not
keep
just
my
adding
case.
players. It's just you get another year. Bo and Vladdy have another year under their belt.
If Bo figures it out defensively and a little bit offensively, that's pretty scary.
I think you made some good moves. You improved your bullpen. I wouldn't say improved your offense, but you got some guy. You got Varsho.
You got 9 players.
Yeah, we have 9 players on the field. Another year of Manoah. He's probably going to get better with age. I think.
You think?
I think Barrios has.
I think Manoah gets better. Yeah.
I think Barrios has a bounce back year.
I think that'll be key. Honestly.
I do think he will. Like, I don't think he can get much worse than he was last year.
That's fair.
And the only question mark is that bullpen. But I look at he's like Stanton's getting older. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think Judge is going to hit 60 home runs again.
No, definitely not.
70.
I think
70. He's beaten 74.
74. Yeah, right. I think.
Get on the juice.
Vladdy had a down year. I think he has a bounce back year.
Yeah.
I think Bo was good. I think Springer. I think the lineup's better than the Yankees lineup. And you could argue rotation wise, I think the Blue Jays are better too.
Ooh. Rotation, I wouldn't agree, but as far as
who do the
batting,
Yankees
I think
have?
for sure. Cole, Rodon,
besides Vladdy's
Nasty
dad,
Nestor,
or
Nasty
Vladdy's son.
Vladdy's son. Herman, he's
Montas,
a 6th guy. Montas,
Severino, if he can stay healthy, he's an animal.
He is.
I think,
if we have Sev in 5 and he's performing, that's a nasty 5.
it is.
I don't know.
Even
is that better than Manoah, Gosman, Barrios, and Bassett?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Like Barrios is like if Barrios
think.
comes out and has another 6 ERA, like what are they gonna do?
Alec Manoah's better than Garrett Cole.
For 1 year.
Garrett Cole's lights out if he's on, but it is unfortunate that
When
he has those 9 ERA nights.
Yeah.
When he's on, yeah, that's the real question.
When he lets up 1 home run and it's a 1-0 game.
Yeah,
right.
one
There was
home
a
run,
lot of that. There was a lot of that.
3 against Vladdy.
Yeah.
Hey,
One
game it happens.
From Cole.
I am not scared of Cole.
All right. Hey, I guess we'll see.
I'm gonna get up. What is Manoah's stats against the Yankees again? I think he owns them.
Yeah, I think he does actually.
Let's see.
I've seen a lot of hot takes saying Manoah's gonna have an off year. Not that I'm agreeing with it, but I saw a lot of it. Obviously,
people are just
there's
saying
nothing
that
leading towards it,
because
but
they think he's overweight. They just don't like when big guys are successful in life.
Big sexy.
Yeah, CC Sabathia was the only acceptable one.
Guy's a stud.
So,
who's next? Bryson's up.
I think no, we're not done ranking the Jays.
Okay.
There's only one. We're gonna let one person decide this, and it's the only one who's not gonna be biased.
Bryson.
Right.
I have to make the final call on if the Jays are wild card or playoffs.
Well, we can have the both playoff locks.
You could
True.
playoff lock. It's the lock that's the tough word, because if it was playoffs, for sure, I think they win the wild card game. But playoff lock, that's a division winner, isn't it?
Well, it's just I don't know. When I said playoff lock, I meant they're definitely going to be in the playoffs. Whereas wild card is they're going to make it, but they're just going to get in. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm pretty sure the Blue Jays had a comfortable lead in the wild card.
Yeah, so it's
I put playoff lock as division winner is what I was
The only
thinking.
thing is having a wild card there is just saying they'll be the second best team in the division. That's all it's saying.
Okay, so
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you
Blue
could change
Jays-
it. I mean, I was looking at it like squeak in. You know what I mean? Like they're going to get in,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
right?
I
Okay,
think
hold up.
Well,
playoff lock now
not
because
squeak in, but like they're going to be in the playoffs, but they're not going to be a lot
Jays-
for it. Like, do you know what I
Blue
mean?
Jays got
Like,
into the playoffs with 6 games in hand from being eliminated.
I think Blue Jays get wild card and they win their wild card game.
Right. And I would still put
That's
that
what I
under
said
wild
last
card,
year, and
even
they
though
lost
it's
the wild card
playoff.
game.
Well, they shouldn't have though.
This is regular
They-
season. Blue
Yeah,
Jays
this is
got
going into the
last year,
playoffs.
six games in hand. That's a playoff lock, in my opinion.
It's a wild card lock.
yeah.
It depends. It depends on what we want to call
Wild card's
playoff lock.
playoffs.
It is.
Because if we want to say playoff, like wild card is just like squeaking in like the third place wild card, and if playoff lock is like first place wild card, I'm fine with them being playoff lock.
Agreed.
Yeah, like if we like what I'm thinking is like if you guarantee like if we all agree that the Jays are going to be in the playoffs for
If
sure,
you're
then
gonna
they
make
should
it
be a
past the
playoff
wild card,
lock.
definitely.
Yeah.
Dude,
The
yeah,
wild
let's
card,
do
like wild card, we could say is like
Wild
they're
card
going to get
loser.
in, but it's they could also easily miss. You know what I mean? But we
Yeah.
think they're
We'll
going to
have,
make
a,
it.
we'll have a rant podcast. Who's better, Blue Jays or Yankees?
We can make an episode of that.
Okay, we should
Moderator.
we should move on. That was a lot of time on the Jays.
That was a lot of
who's
time
up?
on that.
We took a while. We
Who
took a
has
while.
the
We got
Marlins?
I'm
Right.
up with the Marlins. I have the Marlins as wild card.
Okay.
I think that they made. I really like I said. I really like the trade they made to get Arias, giving up Lopez, and I think if they can have a healthy Jazz, I think that they're gonna have a better lineup than they did last year. It's still not amazing, but I think it's better and it's an improvement. And their
Yeah.
pitching, Alcantara is arguably he just eats innings. Like he's just a monster. He just goes deep every game. He goes like I heard a stat like he went over. I think it was like I want to say like 80% of his starts he went 7 or more innings. Like,
Yeah,
it was-
that's
he
a
pitched
lot,
quite a
I think.
few. He pitched a few complete games, didn't he?
Yeah, so he's just an absolute beast as your ace. And then they've still even trading Pablo, they've still got guys in the rotation that I think are gonna
I think
be able
six
to carry
would be
them to the wild cards.
As an
Yeah,
example,
like I don't
Trevor
think they're a
Rogers.
playoff lock. Like I don't think they're definitely gonna make the playoffs, but I definitely can see them getting in the wild card for sure. It's gonna be
Yeah.
tough, but I think they can do it.
My opinion with the Marlins, they have a good team, but they're in a loaded division this year. They have the Braves, Mets, Phillies in that division.
That's true.
And like I could see a situation where Mets and Phillies take those wild card spots along with the Brewers. And like Padres too. Like I don't think they have the firepower to get in. I think there's just better teams out there.
Yeah, I see. I'm falling kind of towards what Caleb's saying, although I fully agree the Marlins are moving up the scale for sure for the exact same reasons you mentioned, Bryson. I think I have a couple other teams in that division making that wild card spot.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think they're a good team.
One of your-
I like
what-
the moves
maybe
they
your
made,
team.
but
I personally don't I don't believe in the Brewers as much as maybe some people, but I think that they do have, like I said, it would be tough for them to get in.
Each division, each
3 wild cards, 3 divisions, 6.
Yes.
No,
I thought there was 7 now.
3 wild card,
Just-
3 division winners. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Okay. So like
yeah,
right
that
now,
makes
just
sense.
off the top of my head, I think Braves. I think Mets win the division. Cardinals win the division. Padres win the division. Yeah, like I just don't see them. I don't think they're better than those teams. They'll have to go on. I think it's a miracle run to make the wild card.
It's
The NL is just
a
loaded.
tough push, but they move up for sure than from the rankings last year, I'd say.
Because I think last year they were trash. I think
Yes.
this year they move up a tier to miss playoffs.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Marshall?
I totally agree. I think they just missed the playoffs. Well, not
Alrighty,
even
so we're
just. I think they're out by a little bit, but
So we're thinking moving down to miss playoffs.
personally, I would. But it's up to you.
I'll move them down. So I'm up with the St. Louis Cardinals. I think this one's playoff lock. They're in an easy division. They have an easy division. They have
Oh,
a good
actually, I
lineup,
agree.
solid
Actually,
pitching. They have the Brewers, and I think the Brewers aren't going to be that great this year. Like you have Arenado, you have Goldschmidt, you got Montgomery, who had a great year last year when he went over to them. Wainwright's probably Wainwright's
He's getting up there.
He's getting up there in age. Yeah. I think it just comes down. I think if you put them in the other division, like either division, I think they're probably wild card team, but they're
in a weak division.
I think, because the Cubs are still they're up and coming. Like,
yeah, they got a young team.
I don't really see a team knocking them off this year unless it's the
Yeah.
Brewers, but I don't like the Brewers lineup personally.
I don't either. I have Cardinals in the same spot. I have division lock for them.
Yeah, I would agree. Playoff lock.
All right. Who's up with Houston?
It'd be me with the Astros.
Ooh.
I mean, I think this is pretty easy. I think these guys are going back-to-back World Series finals.
Yeah.
You got them World Series contenders?
I think they're the best team in baseball now.
Even with them losing Verlander?
Yeah, I think they still get it done. I think they're the best team in the league. I hate to admit
that's a hot take.
That is a hot take. Write that down.
Didn't they use Yuli also?
No.
Yeah, they haven't re-signed him.
Yeah, but he's not a key piece. I mean, I think Pena has a phenomenal year.
They have a good young rotation.
Yeah, I think they're the best team in baseball.
They're just a good team.
Yeah,
they can develop. They make big moves. It's just such a good franchise. Well, no, I wouldn't say good franchise, but they know how to put a ball team together.
Yeah, I say that because I think the Dodgers got worse. I think they overcome the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean they already were, but I think now the Dodgers are less of a threat. But I think Jordan's going to hit the most home runs in the league this year if he stays healthy.
Yeah. That's not a bad take at all.
Write it down.
It could be a write it down. His metrics are insane, but
it's true.
But yeah, they're definitely World Series contenders for sure.
Yeah, I say lock it in.
Oh, alrighty. I think it's Chase with the Braves now.
Yeah. So I had the Braves. I thought I had something different. I had the Braves locking in the top. Yeah. Okay. I had the Braves locking in top wild card spot because I have the Mets beating them out. And I think
so. You have them in.
I have them in playoff
card.
I would have them
playoff
lock because they're going to win their wild card spot. But I have I have
kind
them
of the
not
same position as the Jays.
Yes.
Okay. No, but the Jays are winning the division.
but what we had them at, same position, kind of. That's for
playoff.
Yeah, I agree. They're a playoff lock.
Yeah.
They just have to be.
I think they're definitely borderline World Series contender if.
I agree.
If they play well, I think if everything clicks, they can definitely be that. Like if Acuna can bounce back,
100%,
and if Strider can repeat his success from last year.
Hey, and they got
Michael Harris. And they had Sean Murphy. Yeah, it was a great he's an improvement over Darno for sure.
Oh, I think so.
They got.
I think he's a top 5 catcher.
Well, William Contreras too.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, well, I've just been living under a rock apparently.
Where did he go?
He's in Milwaukee. He was part of the Sean Murphy deal. He went. It was a 3-way trade.
It was a 3-way trade.
Yeah. So
welcome from out front.
They still got Matt Olson. They still got. They did lose Dansby.
Matt Olson should have a bounce back year.
Dansby.
But they have Albies and they have Vaughn Grissom, who can, I think, can play short, and Michael Harris out in
Michael Harris
as well. So I think, like I said, I think if they play well, I think they're definitely could be World Series contender, but I wouldn't quite put them there. I would still have them as playoff lock.
I don't know why I'm blanking on their top pitcher, that young guy.
Freed.
Soroka,
Yeah.
Freed.
Soroka is
Strider, Soroka, if he comes back. Yeah. If he's healthy and he can
They
get
have a
back
good
to where he
rotation.
was.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again,
Charlie
they play in a
Morton, the ageless
tough
wonder.
division.
Yeah.
They do, yeah. So yeah, I think definitely a playoff lock, but definitely could
Yeah, playoff
borderline
lock.
World Series contender
I'm
Yeah.
good with
in the
playoff
future.
lock for now.
Yeah. All right, does that mean I'm
Okay,
back
who has
up?
the Orioles?
Just-
That's
team.
me. I'm the
Oh,
Orioles,
poor
and
Chase.
Wait, I couldn't
well, you
wait.
could give me your opinion, but I have them as a wild card. I think they're going to make the playoffs this year. I think they added Kyle Gibson, who he isn't a great pitcher, but I think he's good enough. He's an improvement over what they had last year. They traded for Cole Irvin, who is kind of an under the radar pitcher with the A's because he's with the A's, but he actually wasn't bad. And they also have Grayson Rodriguez potentially coming up.
Mhm.
And first year pitchers are always a bit dicey, but I think he's been, he's just so dominant that I think that he's going to be okay. He might not be amazing, but I think he'll be a good back end guy in his first year.
Yep.
And I think their lineup is the biggest question mark. Like, can Adley take that next step? Can Cedric Mullins keep playing consistently? He was still good last year. He wasn't as good as the previous year, but he still had a good year last year.
Gunner.
But they got Gunner coming up, right? The thing with them is the depth, right? So if they get hit with a couple injuries, I don't think they have a lot of depth, unfortunately. So it's going to be a challenge, but I think if, like I said, if everything goes right for them and they can start clicking, I think that they can make the playoffs this year. But that's just me.
Couple teams,
Henry.
couple
I
years
just think
from now,
oh,
that's a scary team. I think
Yeah.
maybe not scary, but like a pretty good team. With the once they're minor guys right now that are just coming up or like coming up in the next year or so, once they develop, that's going to be a good lineup.
Yeah, the problem with the Orioles is they've always had a hard time they've never been a
Yeah.
great developmental team. So it's going to be
Yeah.
a few question marks around guys like Grayson Rodriguez or even DL Hall coming up.
Yeah.
Like there's just going to be a lot of hopefully seeing what happens because they've struggled
See if
in the
they
past with development. So, but I
Us
mean, if you want to put them in miss, I totally understand. I just personally think like they were close last year, and I think that Adley's going to take that next step and I think they can squeak in the playoffs. But
No, I had them in the exact same spot. I had them in the third wild card spot, and I guess it's not as hot a take as I thought, because I thought that was going to be a hot take, but you agree with me, so
Yeah.
that's where I had them as well. So
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a hot take, but it's
Marshall.
definitely a warm take.
Yeah, I honestly personally
Lukewarm.
have them miss playoffs. I just think, again, tough division. Like, do we really think 4 teams from the AL East are going to make
see,
the playoffs?
that's what I was looking at. I was like, the AL, the entire
we got to move
ball
one team
is
down.
taking the play. As crazy as
I
think it's fully feasible.
I think it's very feasible. I think there's other. I mean, I would say very feasible, but it is feasible.
Yeah,
I think the
Mariners
Twins I
are-
don't know about. White
See,
Sox I don't know about.
The Mariners and the
Yeah.
White Sox, the only two teams that I could see messing that up, making the AL East the full playoffs for the AL.
Right. Yeah, it's just what you choose. Is the Orioles better than the Mariners?
And then there's also the Rangers, right? Like we don't really know
Yeah,
what's going to
especially with
happen there
DeGrom.
too. But they didn't really do a lot outside of adding DeGrom and like some
True.
pitching. Like so he's still up in the air. But yeah, and the Angels too. You never know. I mean, like you think they should be a competition for
Well,
them.
they got,
So it's definitely be a struggle. But I think personally that's where I think they can do it. So I'm gonna put them there. I'm gonna trust my gut.
Yeah, I would keep.
there, I guess.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. I'm next with the Guardians. I have some tough. The only thing with the Guardians, I think the White Sox bounce back.
Holy, we're gonna start zooming.
I'm going wild card team. Do I want to go miss playoffs? No, wild card. I think they're wild.
Yeah, I think you have to go wild card considering last year.
They have Tris McKenzie's a stud, man. He's gonna get better.
Yeah.
They have Bieber. They have. I think Plesac had a crop season last year, but he's also all right.
I mean, Savall.
And they have
Savall is in...
They have a good bullpen. Like you have Clase, one of the best closers in the game,
Stud.
and you have one of the best players in Ramirez.
Mhm.
Right.
I just they have a good lineup. Like
What are you saying they are? Playoff lock or wild card?
wild card.
Okay, I had them at playoff lock. I had them winning division.
I just think the White Sox bounce back.
See, that's the only thing. That's the only thing that was questioning on me is if
Bounce
the White
back.
Sox.
Do you think a bounce back enough to win the division?
I don't know. That's another weak division.
It's a toss up with the White Sox.
Actually, I have a really hot take,
Tell me.
but later.
Okay, we
White
should
Sox
probably
World
keep.
Series contenders.
Lock.
We should
So
keep
where
moving.
are we
I
putting
think I'm
them?
Rockies.
So
I'm Rockies.
leave them wild card and move them up.
Leave them.
I'm fine with leaving them. I personally would move them up, but I'm fine if you guys want to leave them.
Oh,
What do you and Marshall and Bryce? What do you think?
Because they won it last year,
yeah.
didn't they?
I think I would put them where they are. I think wild card because I do think the Sox do bounce back.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Alrighty. So
Right, yeah.
who's
I'm
with the
next with the
Rockies?
I'm next with the
Wizards?
Rockies. Yeah. So, I mean, there's not much to say about these guys. I'm putting them straight in the trash bin.
I agree.
I think they have a couple of good
Trash
guys like
can.
Rogers, Connor Joe, and McMahon. I think that's how you say his name.
Chris
Yeah.
Bryant.
But their pitching is just
Yeah.
Chris Bryant. Yeah, sorry. Their pitching is just an F minus, man. I can't get
Yeah.
around with the Rockies pitching.
No
So
pitcher just no pitchers want to go to Colorado.
and you have the
Vermont's your
worst
best
pitchers
guy.
in the highest city, and it's just not going to work out. That's trash.
I agree with trash.
We'll make it quick. We'll make it
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. Trash. Move on.
Yeah.
I think that's Chase.
Trash.
Trash.
Trash. I have even worse trash. I have them in the last place of the league.
Yeah, I agree.
They-
Should we make another tier?
Trash and then Detroit.
Oakland
Trash.
A's tier. Oakland A's tier.
We apologize to
Oakland-
these fans.
The AAA teams.
Go. Triple A teams.
Savannah Bananas.
Oh, you're keeping it quick at trash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah.
I said Kansas City.
Kansas City. I want to go trash, but I'm gonna go miss. I think
Yeah,
just because I
I-
think they have some young good players. Their rotation's trash, but I think they have some
Yeah.
decent young hitter. And Brady's like
I
they have
think
some
they're the trash
okay.
bin.
I think Brady Singer's gonna take a step forward, but I think like having Bobby Witt and they still have Salvi
Hey, and Melendez is a stud too.
and Melendez. He had a decent season last year. Like he didn't hit.
And don't
for
forget about
average much.
Vinny. Don't forget about Vinny.
And the Italian stallion Vinny.
I think
Vinny
he's,
P.
there's comparisons with Freddie Freeman there.
I can't
Stats are very
have
similar.
them in the same tier as like the A's and the Rockies. Like I think they're better than those
Hey,
teams.
spoiling. We haven't gone to
Okay.
the A's yet.
Well, if they're not there, then I'm quitting the podcast.
Fair enough.
Walking.
Alrighty, I'm with the Brewers.
Wait,
I
where do we put the
got
A's?
them-
Or Royals, I
missed
mean?
playoffs.
Royals were missed playoffs. Yeah.
I'm going Brewers wild card. I just think with that
Okay.
1, 2, 3, three-headed monster in the rotation that wins you games right there, and I think they play in a weak division. So
Yeah, I agree.
The only reason I had them missing I had them missing because I think they lose the division, and them losing division gets them third in the wild card because I think Phillies and D-backs are ahead of them still.
But I look at it as this way: is like Padres have like let's say okay, I think Padres win the division. Dodgers have to play the Padres,
Ooh.
Giant. Well, like East Division, I only think two teams are going to get in there because they have to play each other more. I think they're going to beat each other up. So that's why I think Brewers sneak in. But I'd be down to move them down if you guys are.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough because I think their lineup's a bit weak. But they did add adding William Contreras. I think is a good bat to add.
They lost Colton Wong though, right?
But then they lost Colt Wong. They lost Hunter Renfro.
Right.
I just
So,
think that
Patter.
rotation that's
But having Burns,
Oh.
Woodruff, and Peralta is just
That's a good starting rotation.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
But
that
they
gives your
don't
team
have
a chance to win 3 times
As long
out
as
of
they can
5
put
Yeah.
one run on the board.
so I'm fine with
So I
leaving
think-
wild card.
Leaving them in
Yeah.
wild card. Okay, I
Just
agree.
barely
Okay.
wild card though, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Angels.
Closer to miss.
I got Angels.
Wizard, I believe.
Yeah.
Marshall.
Yeah.
This will be
Well,
interesting.
I don't got much to say about them. I mean, you got the debatably two of the best players in the world. I mean, they are Trout and Otani, and it's just that's it, right? That's just it. It's just another year of feeling bad for Trout and Otani. I mean, that's all it comes
Pretty
to.
much.
I mean, I'd like to put him in trash just for that reason, but I think
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think we put them in trash or
I think the
wasting two of the
absolute
best players in
ceiling for them is
baseball's
winning
careers.
winning
I'm
80
fine with
games,
that.
and that's up 80 games is a lot of wins, I think, for them. But I think that's their ceiling. But I think they
Yeah,
missed the
can't
playoffs
move
by a
much
good
up.
margin.
I'm fine with them in missed playoffs.
Yeah, missed
Yeah.
playoffs is where I have them.
Same.
I had them on my list as just like not a trash team, but missing playoffs. But yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I can't put them as trash, but I missed playoffs.
They're
for
like
sure.
a fun to watch but trash team.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like they'll bring
Well,
the eyes because they have Otani
I
and
should
Trout.
really
But
call them trash. I travel all the way to Toronto to watch the Blue Jays, and they get absolutely spanked by the Angels in 3 games.
fair enough.
Yeah, that was tough. Who got now?
3-0'd them.
Chase is up.
Oakland.
Oakland, eh? I have Oakland absolutely
World Series
indeed.
contender?
Yeah, World Series
World
contender.
Series contender?
Moneyball.
Yeah, I agree.
Moneyball, baby.
Anything to add?
I have them second last in the division.
Should we make
or
a
in the
tier and
league.
call it the Oakland? Should we make a lower tier and call it the Oakland Coliseum?
Oakland Coliseum.
Trash
Trash can.
That's a trash can and move on kind of team.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
Grayson. Phillies.
I'm up with the Phillies. They are my only team that I have as a World Series contender.
Nice.
Oh,
Whoa.
now
Yeah.
that's
That's a
take.
hot take.
I like it.
I
had
think
them more like missed playoffs because of the tough.
That's what I had them as missed playoffs.
missed the
Really?
playoffs.
That's
I have them,
a
like,
hot
if-
take.
I would have them like a middle tier between wild card and missed playoffs. I'd have them fringe playoff team.
I had them
I
first
think-
place of the wild card.
But like, here's the thing: is like I think I personally think that they're better than the Mets and the Braves if all three
Whoa.
teams play at their peak. I
Yeah.
think they're underrated. They added. I think they were. I mean, they
I
did
don't
it
know if
last
they're
year.
Better than the Mets.
They did it last year. They did
I
it
just
last
think the Mets spent so much
The
money.
Mets had the same hype last year. Same hype last year. World Series bound, and then just like always, they find a way to not make it.
Mets
The Mets
play the
lost
Mets.
DeGrom and their rotation got better.
I think
Debatable.
I think
I'm fine.
playoff lock is safe.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Why like
Yeah.
why would they not be in the playoffs? Like
Oh,
how are they
guaranteed
not
playoff
World Series
lock, in my
contender? They were
opinion.
there last year. They added Trey Turner, who's
Yeah,
like
playoff
arguably
lock.
one of
I
the
don't
best
think I'd go
players
as high
in the
as World Series
league.
contender.
I did forget about that. Phillies actually will look pretty good.
Yeah.
I did forget
added
about
Trey
Playoff
Turner.
lock, though.
How are they
Wait,
not a World
did they
Series
make
contender
World-
though?
Yeah. It was Phillies Astros finals.
Shit.
Like how did they get
Ah,
worse?
Crap. There goes our.
That's the only reason I was agreeing with you.
We're an
I
18
was
new
just
podcast now. I just said shit.
Oh no,
You're gonna have the explicit beside it now.
for everybody.
I don't know, man.
I just generally don't see how they got any worse, and they made the World Series last year. So I don't know how they
Okay.
can't be a World Series
Okay.
contender.
Fair.
Where
I
do you have them? Where do
completely
you
forgot
think they
about
should be?
that. So I had them as just missing, but I completely forgot about kind of what they did this offseason, and
I forgot
Yeah,
they were in the World
let's
Series
put
last
playoff
year.
lock because I think
playoff lock too.
because let's just do that.
Playoff lock.
Yeah.
I agree.
playoff lock,
almost
World Series, I'd say.
Absolute shams.
Okay, me with Pittsburgh. I'm going trash. Move on.
Trash.
Padres and Marshall.
Hey, at least they got sick jerseys, sick logo. Anyways, I got the
That's-
Padres.
Pirates.
I think we can talk brightly about the Padres. I think they got something to prove this year with all the signings. Obviously, they didn't stick with Bell. They couldn't stick with Bell. If they could have kept Bell and Soto in that trade, that would have been crazy. But obviously, Bell had to go to the Guardians. But I think they win 95 games this year. I think they have a good year. I think
It's
Simple as
either Padres or Dodgers. One of the two. Whichever
I
one
have-
isn't
I
in
think,
first
I
place
think
in the
Dodgers are not. I think Padres are World Series contenders.
no.
I have them playoff lock. I have
I have
I
playoff
have-
lock as well.
They could be
There's
World
no
Series
shot
contenders.
that they're World Series contenders and the Phillies are.
Yeah, I just
No
don't like the
shot.
rotation as much as the
Compare
much
their
as the Phillies.
lineups. Compare their lineups.
Compare what they've done in the last 2 years with stacked lineup.
No, we're talking
Pitching,
about
though.
this year. Compare their lineups.
pitching though. Pitching.
Padres could be
They
Padres
have
should
Musgrove,
probably
they
be
have
the best team on
Padres have a family abuser in their rotation.
paper.
Just kidding, no,
You
they
hate
don't. He's gone now.
Jesus
I'm just kidding.
Christ.
They don't have him.
Is he gone now? They dropped him?
No, he's on the
Well, I
Sox.
would hope
now.
they
White
drop
Sox.
him.
Oh,
Oh,
I
he's on
didn't
the
even
White
see
Sox.
that. Oh, no, I did know that. Yeah, they signed him, yeah. That's why they got rid of him.
Yeah, they signed him and then they got the charges came out, so it was a bit of tough
Yeah.
news.
Right. Forgot about that.
Tough
Yeah.
break.
Tough break.
So we're thinking they're not World Series contender.
I'd say playoff lock.
Yeah,
Just
it's
I'm in
awful.
shambles right now.
Welcome to my world.
Do we really think they're better than the Astros, though?
No.
The Padres, no.
They're better than the Astros.
No.
Caleb.
I think they could be if they played the way they could.
Like the potential.
I mean,
is
this is the same thing every year.
Potential.
The
I just
potential
don't like
to
the
be
rotation. I just don't like the
Absolutely.
Give
rotation.
Tatis, Soto, and
Joke
Machado.
Yeah, but
Joke
Tatis,
playoff.
he's got to play though. That's the problem. And they just haven't proven it yet.
He's gonna be nice and healthy when he's back from his suspension.
He's probably taking steroids so it make it quicker.
He's gonna get suspended for the back half of the season too. Because he had
Literally,
ringworm
look
again.
at their rotation. Who's
it's
going
the
to be pitching for them?
It's the rotation for me.
Musgrove, Darvish,
Ringworm.
And
Mackenzie
who?
Gore was
Darvish-
good.
Darvish is
He was
lost,
not
though. I
good,
think
and he's also in. Mackenzie Gore's not even on the team.
Oh, right, he got
Yeah,
traded.
Mackenzie got traded. He's on
The
the Nationals, isn't he? And
Yeah.
Nationals
Manea?
World Series.
He's
long.
trash.
Family.
Like
I
they
just don't
have
like the
like
Josh
rotation.
Hader.
they got Musgrove,
do
Darvish,
have
and then a steep
Hader.
cliff.
I don't even like Darvish though. I
Blake
think he's
Snell,
just getting
though.
old.
Blake Snell.
Snell.
Blake Snell's MLB the show.
Yeah. I just don't like the
Blake
rotation.
Snell's
That's the only
good.
reason I put him there.
Blake Snell should be good.
He is good.
Not really.
That's a stretch.
Not really.
What do you mean that's a stretch?
Asked me that 3 years ago, I'd say yeah.
Yeah. Even Darvish is on the way down. He's like
ERA
he's 39 years old, isn't he?
every other night.
Hey, I guess we'll see, eh? But right now I got him as playoff locks.
I'll bet
Playoff lock.
Dodgers will be in the or not the Dodgers. Padres will be in the World Series this year.
Against who?
Toronto. And Toronto wins.
I knew that was coming.
That could be a write it down for you, Padres in the World
Yeah,
Series.
that's a write it down.
A's
No,
are playing the
Rangers will World
Tigers.
Series.
The thing is it's not a crazy take. It's
Whatever.
just-
You guys already
Same
grounded me enough. Let's just move on. Okay, who's up with the Rangers?
Chase.
Okay, so Rangers, I think are missing, but I think they move up. So I think they're still missing, but I think they're not absolute trailer park trash teams. So,
I agree.
miss.
I agree.
DeGrom wins them 1 in 5 games.
Well, probably 1 in 20 the way his health has been.
Fair enough.
Fair. I need it for my fantasy. So hopefully
enough.
wins
Okay.
14 win
Bryson
season.
with the Red Sox.
Red Sox, I want to put them in trash, but they have some decent players, so I'm going to put them in miss. I want to put them in trash just because of their management.
Oh, I want to put it so bad.
I think they're,
I think they missed. I think they're well. I mean, they
but
still
we're
have
gonna say
some
they're trash and
players.
they're gonna win the fucking division this year.
I would
I
Like
think
they're not
they-
as bad. They're not as bad as the A's or the Rockies and those teams. I don't think they are.
Yeah.
I think they're,
Yeah.
but they're definitely not
I think
making the
they're high
playoffs.
end missed playoff. I'm putting them middle of missed.
Yeah,
playoffs.
they're missing. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're missing.
Miss,
And with
move on.
not having story, that hurts too. Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Move on. Who's up next?
Alrighty. Giants and Bryson, I believe.
No, I just want.
Oh, it's me and Giants.
It's the Met. Yeah, it's you and the Giants. Yeah.
Oh boy. Hmm. What do I feel here? Missed playoffs.
Yeah.
The Giants?
Giants missed playoffs. I think there's just too much around them. I think they'll miss it by half a game. That's my prediction.
enough.
Write it down.
That's pretty well exactly where I had them. I had them as hitting that last spot in the playoff wild card, but I'd be fine with them missing as well.
Yeah. I also had them late wild card, but yeah.
Unless they get those like career resurgence like they did a couple years ago, then
Yeah. So I'm fine with miss.
Yeah.
I think miss just because the division. It's just
Yeah, right.
yeah. It's kind of crazy how only 12 teams make the playoffs.
yeah, it's small. That's why people love baseball though. Best of the best are going at it.
Alrighty, Dodgers and
That's
Wizards.
me. Yeah, that's me. I mean, I discussed the Dodgers briefly when I was talking about the Astros, and I said they got worse, and I think the Astros are better, but I still think they win 100 games, and I think they're a playoff lock.
Oh, thank God! I was like, don't put them in World Series contender.
No, I didn't. Well, they could, but I don't think their pitching does as good as it did last year. Like Tony Gonsolin, I think he's a beauty, but I don't think he puts up the numbers he did last year. Because what did he do? What was his record? Like 16-1 or something?
Yeah, he had a good record.
But it was
Yeah,
crazy.
he's a stud.
Out of nowhere.
But yeah, I mean, you still have Freddie Freeman, you still have Mookie Betts, Will Smith, etc. Like you still got some
Trey
studs
Turner.
You
there.
got a good lineup.
You got
You lost Trey Turner.
That's why I have them worse than the Astros, but that's a totally different division, so I still think it's a playoff lock.
Alrighty.
Yeah, playoff lock.
I agree. Does everyone else agree?
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Bryson,
Chase
'cause he
with
wants
the
the Phillies there.
Diamondbacks.
World Series. Diamondbacks. I have your D-backs moving up a pretty good amount there, Bryson.
I like it.
Of the D-backs just missing wild card. Like just.
Nice. Yeah.
Pretty
I
much
have
the
them
same
just missing
squad as
by 9 games.
How many games did they miss by last year? Does anyone know?
Oh, I think it was quite a few here. I have Baseball Reference here.
I think
Okay, they
that
were.
Moreno is going to be
Actually,
one of the top catchers in the league, and I think Carroll is going to be one of the top center fielders in the league. And
They missed by 15 games, I believe, or 12 games.
I'm blanking on your ace. His name
Zach Gallen.
Zach
Gallen is going to be a stud again this year.
Yeah, I think he will be too.
Keto Marte is just good. I think they're going to be just missing playoffs.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be.
Our only downside is their rotation after Gallen.
Gallen, yeah.
Is
Come on, Bumgarner.
pretty
Man, come on.
suspect. Mad
Mad
Bum
Bum.
is just
Mad.
that
That's
contract.
like still
is,
playing kind of thing, eh? Yeah. Contract, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and then Zach Davies, and then some young guys, and so it's just it's question mark. So
Yeah, a couple question marks in the rotation. Just miss.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
yeah.
I'm fine with that. Miss playoffs.
The Mets, I had. Hold on, I was looking up some stats for the Phillies. Mets, I
I already
have.
know where
This is
going.
well. I want to put them World Series contender as well, but I think realistically, I think they're just a playoff lock right now. But at the same time, we're running out of teams, and we've only got one World Series contender, so I'm gonna put them World Series contender.
Thank goodness.
I
Winning the World Series this year.
I think if you put Mets there, you got to put Phillies there.
That's what I'm saying, but
no, Mets are
I'm
better
kind
than
of
the Phillies. Don't even get me started.
repeat 2001.
Hey,
I mean, they better be in the World Series if they spend all the money.
Yeah.
Frank the
Yeah,
Tank
that's
is going to be partying this year when the Mets
Frank the Tank. We
lose
love
the
Frank
Blue
the
Jays in
Tank.
the World Series.
Blue Jays.
I think it's a 2001 World Series repeat.
Ooh. What's that?
Yeah.
Subway Series, Yankees win.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe in Cancun.
Guys, there's no bias. Guys, there's no bias in this podcast whatsoever.
None.
Yeah.
None.
Completely unbiased opinions.
Or sarcasm for that matter.
Yeah.
Absolutely serious takes only. World Series?
Versus Yankees versus Jays.
World Series contender.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mets World Series. But then I
Okay,
would
so
I would
I'm
argue so bad for Phillies, man. Oh
I'm
well.
up with the Sox, and I had
I
a
know.
change of heart. I'm gonna move the Guardians up to playoff lock, and then move the Sox in a wild card.
I like it. I like it.
I had a change of heart. I don't know why.
No, I like it. I like the change of heart. I do.
What was the change in heart? Sorry.
I'm moving Guardians up playoff lock, and then I'm gonna move the White Sox in the wild card.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I'm good with that for sure.
Okay, we have a little issue here. Oh wait, never mind. We have a crap ton of playoff locks for the NL. Alrighty, who's up with the Twins?
Me.
And we lost Marshall.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Well,
crap.
Do you want to go
Tragic.
for him?
I'll go
Twins
for
are-
it.
You can probably hop back in, but we're getting pretty long, so
Twins are missing.
Miss playoffs?
yeah, I had them miss
Yeah.
this
I
playoffs as well.
All right,
Can
who's
we all
next?
agree that the Cubs, Washington, and Reds are all trash?
Yeah, that's exactly where I had him.
Okay.
I mean, I would put Cubs and miss, but I'm
Go
fine
ahead.
if you want to put them in the trash.
Am I back?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
voted
you can
Twins
hear.
are miss. We voted for you.
Oh
Okay, I'll move
yeah,
Cubs
I had
to
him.
miss
I had him at
playoffs.
miss. I had him at miss playoffs. Sorry about that technical
Kind of what I
difficulties,
figured.
gentlemen.
Yeah, all good, all good.
No problem.
I had him missing the
So
playoffs,
here,
but
our
I think
tier list is done.
hey,
Yeah, we kind of finished it.
We
I had him at a
finished it pretty
500
quick.
record.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
we
fair.
have. I'm just gonna see how many playoff teams we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 AL playoff teams right now. So that's kind of what we want. Or
Yeah,
is it 6? It's 6, right?
Yeah,
it's
but
6, but like we're not all going to
you don't
agree
need to be
on
exact.
And then
We
have
could take another
1,
5
2,
minutes.
3,
arguing.
4, 5, 6,
Yeah. I mean, if it's better, we can move the Phillies to World Series. I mean, that's pretty quick.
7.
I,
I think we
I'd
should
be okay
move-
with that.
I think we should move one of these 3 teams down. Rays, or one of these 4. Rays, Mariners, Orioles, White Sox. And I think White
Well-
Sox is the way to go.
I would move White Sox
Well-
down out of those ones. Yeah,
Then we have an even 6 and 6, which is a proper tier
Perfect.
list.
Okay.
perfect.
All right.
Alrighty,
Sure.
that's that.
Unreal. Good episode.
Yeah. it's
Hope you
long.
guys enjoyed,
long
and stay tuned for our next one.